Aloha and welcome to this guided tour of the web application framework module. And I tell you, you can see right here from the list of learning outcomes, everything from standards compliant Java code, using IntelliJ IDEA, writing code efficiently, doing good essays, HTML, CSS, Twitter, Bootstrap, design using the Play framework, and just an overall understanding of web application frameworks. This module is a bear. This is going to be the hardest module of the semester so far, just in terms of the sheer mass of material. And this is only the first of 3 or 4 modules about web application framework design. So it's not like I'm trying to do everything in 1 week. It's just that there's a significant learning curve associated with kind of getting started, getting some initial traction with web application frameworks. And so I want to really stress you got to start early on this module, and you need to devote some extra time this week to this class. So please plan ahead. Put a lot of energy into this week. If you can accomplish all of the learning objectives for this week, I think things will smooth out really in the following weeks. But if you don't understand this material well this week, then the next month is going to be pretty stressful for you. So put a lot of hours in, work every day on this class. Stretch it out so your brain has a little time to recover. Think of it in an athletic way. If you're training for a marathon, you don't try to just run 30 miles in 1 day and then rest for 6 days. You space it out, and that's what you're going to need to do to acquire this information. So I've got an overview webcast about web application frameworks in general, just kind of setting the stage. That's pretty easy. Then there's the Play developer introduction to the framework. That's really good to watch. And then I've made a little screencast about the skeleton of a Play application. Not the entire skeleton, because we haven't got to the back-end database stuff yet. But if you think of the model view controller design pattern, we're dealing at this point with the view and the controllers and getting real comfortable with that aspect of it. Then we'll move on to models a little later. There's a book called Play Framework Essentials. I'm not requiring that you buy it for this class. I don't know that everybody will need it, because there's enough documentation out there that hopefully you can get all you need to know just from the online materials. But this book is there. It's based on Play 2.3. Unlike the other books about Play, I don't recommend any other book on Play other than this one, because those other books on Play use prior versions of the framework, and enough has changed that it might be confusing. But anyway, the first chapter is free, so that's worth reading, and you can decide from that whether or not you want to go ahead and buy the entire book. Play coding standards, not a lot in here that you'll need at this point in time, but it's there for reference. And then in the Play for Java tutorial guide, if I just click on this link, the point is you want to go through these pages and be familiar with them. Then we have a whole bunch of experiences, a lot of experiences this week, because I want you to be digging in and playing with the Play framework a whole lot. So this first one is, when I went through this, I think I sat there for about 30 to 45 minutes, okay, just on the downloads. Okay, after that, you're done with the downloads, and everything will go very fast. But this one in particular, I would recommend doing this while you eat dinner or while you watch some TV or something, because it's just crazy. Of course, be sure you have a good internet connection, obviously, or else it'll be, take forever. But that one in particular, just, know that you're going to do a lot of downloading there. And then once that's done, you've got it all out of the way. Then we move into practice WADs. This is a real easy one. They get successively more complicated. They're not really that hard once you're finished with them. It's just that there's a lot of different pieces you have to learn how to deal with, and you have to learn how IntelliJ marks errors and the kind of the mechanics of it. The mechanics get really crucial with this. If you master the mechanics of Play, it's actually a very simple framework, and things work in a very intuitive and obvious way. But you have to have those mechanics in order to kind of see that. We'll have our standard assessments. We'll have an in-class WAD on Wednesday. You'll have a writing assignment. if we go to the schedule, you can see that I've spaced them out starting with E35. I've given you one experience due per day up until the next week, but I don't recommend that you try, starting on E37 on Saturday, or God forbid, starting on E40 on the Tuesday before the WOD. You should be starting these things. These deadlines are like the absolute latest, okay? But I recommend that you try to get them out of the way at least by the end of the weekend if possible, okay? Because you may need a couple more days just to fill in gaps. All right, so I don't want to stress you out too much, but I do want you to have your eyes wide open that there is a lot of thinking and learning and experiencing to do in this module. The benefit is that you're going to learn something really cool from doing this. I guarantee you're going to be excited you've learned about the Play framework. It's very interesting technology, and we're bringing all this stuff together now from the whole class. We're going to be doing GitHub, we're going to be doing HTML, CSS, Java, Play. It's wonderful what's happening in this module. So just spend the time so you can enjoy it and not be stressed out by it.